Gaimin Gladiators, because while this may be a best of 5, this game too feels particularly important to Avery. I mean, last game, Spirit, they took your best trait, your speed, took it away from you and turned it right back around. They ended that game so fast.
And this time, they're going to take the late game and the scale, right? Void, Magnus, this is a lineup that is very happy to go into that late game. And particularly when you have Yotaro in the reins of the Spaces Void, it is a strat that goes all the way back to, I remember, TI6, TI5 era, where people were developing the Magnus. Wings Gaming were a team that took this strat all the way to the grand finals. We're happy to play this Magnus with the Void, particularly on Shadow. This is a throwback for me being back in Seattle, seeing this once more on the main stage here. We're going to see what Team Spirit can do to get to that late game once again against Gaimin, who have continually punished teams for the greed, for the slowness, for the willingness to go to 60 to 70 minutes. They just don't want to let you get there. But here they've gone for kind of a hybrid draft, right? Going for Morphling in their own hands on Dyrachyo, a hero he is perhaps more infamous than famous for. Yeah, in some sense.
Well, I mean, the right kind of performance on a TI final, that could change the entire narrative about his Morphling. He's going to try and do just that by taking down Yotaro's Faceless Void. But there's also some other notable heroes. I feel like we focused a lot on Yotaro in that last game for a good reason. He had a monster performance, but there's also some other big ones here for Team Spirit. I'm looking at that Mapochka Enchantress, man. I feel like this is Enchantress and Chens, they are really scary in this current meta, even if we don't see them all the time. I mean, we saw the way that Chen worked for Gaimin Gladiators, and Mapochka is going to try and make that Enchantress work for the laning phase.
Enchantress is a hero both these teams really highly value and contest. It's a hero that's been banned against Gaimin a lot, so they opted to take it away here. It's also a hero that can deal pretty well with Primal Beast in those mid games with the Enchant ruining his charge in. I don't know, when I saw that Ench come out, it gave them the tempo they needed with a Magnus opener to feel really good about it, so they just don't fall behind too much on the lanes. And a quick little body block to push it under the tower here to try and secure the equilibrium. Very heads-up play. Dyrachyo read it, got a block of his own, and it will end up outside the tower. So nice heads-up play by Dyrachyo to counteract that, as they're going to start to leap off. Maybe looking for a cheeky kill on the Fury to keep it up here.
Yeah, that would actually be an interesting idea, but they quickly abandoned that. Celery. Goodbye to the Enchantress as Mapochka heads back down to that bottom lane, which is going to be Ace and Toku in the Muerta plus Wraith King, the double undead hero against the Faceless Void of Yotaro and that Enchantress.
A very good game as well. We've seen a lot of like the Wraith King Dark Willow come back. That was a classic a couple TIs ago. Wraith King Muerta equally as strong. You get the insta-stun into silence, and the dead shot pushes you back in. Your attack so you can't fight. Skeletons are hitting you. Very high kill threat on this lane, and a lot of pushing power if you start to run away with it. So this is an off lane for Gaimin. They want to go very well. They want Ace to drive the tempo and the objective control of the game, which is something he didn't get to do last time because Team Spirit brought the game parade to him, right? So that's a big question as well. Do Spirit decide to commit the same resources into shutting Ace down this time around? And does that just inadvertently free up more room for Dyrachyo on a hero that I feel like has a better time this game than the Gyro did in that last one? It's a stronger hero in the meta, and it is decent matchups, and yeah, already on the board.
Yeah, you said this combo is deadly. Any sort of forward position that can output some good damage off that Rayfire Blast. Gotta be careful if you're a support in lane. Gaimin Gladiators will find the opening kill.
This early game is going to be a question for Gaimin in terms of how much they get out, because they have the Fury that can accelerate the lane ganks. They have a Primal Beast who can just gobble up runes, gank side very early. He is the king of it. Maybe not a hero we've seen Quinn play a lot, but one he has practiced very well in pubs recently and is very comfortable on. So this could be an incredibly fast early game just in terms of the gank potential, not necessarily just taking your towers, which is also a reason if that Wraith King lane goes really well for Gaimin, it's a lane they can easily rotate to. But again, the kill threat again so damn high.
Heal too much, and now they're going to turn back around with the Nature's Attendants leveled up. Ace will take a bit of damage as he heads back in, but Yotaro doesn't want to miss his CS. Right now, lanes are going pretty well for, despite that early first blood. We've got the Pango taking the top spot for the CS chart. Nice dead shot.
It was kind of a quiet Pango game last time around. I think Quinn was struggling to find his openings. This is a hero you can get to play your tempo game to control the runes combat work. Who wants to go with the Primal Beast? You can definitely turn some of those games around. I think that's what Laurel's looking more more than being the aggressor, right? I think him just going in these lanes is going to be difficult because you don't have a lot of damage fall, but if Gaimin overextend, dive you under one of these side lane tier 1s, then suddenly the Penguin can come in with a counter gank, get the Thunder, and stick around. You're really happy with that type of gameplay here. Because again, you're farming up. You got Magnus facing Void. No Gaimin are going to go to you.
This is a hard duo to match up against. You throw that Inkswell on the Magnus. He pulls you closer with the shockwave. You get hit by the stun, and then that stun leads into a re-skewer back. So even underneath your tower, you are not safe.
And the Grimshark could be really nice this game as well. Just throwing it on these cores that want to jump in, get the extra, debuff them out, reset the fight or the primal. These types of interactions can really help them take the team fights in the mid game when they're likely going to be behind a little bit in terms of the speed. Because Gaimin are pulling a decent position out in terms of the laning base here. Doing pretty well on their cores in terms of CS.
He gave him the Harpy. That's going to make a big difference in this bottom lane. He'll die now, but does some decent economic damage. And he's got a small little hell bear.
Eventually we'll kick him out. Quinn amping up the pressure here. Has a little bit of an XP advantage. Pushing this triple range creep. I mean, this is pretty rare. You get 3 range creeps pushed into the tower wall. Putting it all up. No roam coming in early here. Way too high on the HP to make it look crazy. Vital to your game plan. Still, he's just going to go for it.
Here comes a rotation though. Here is being underneath the tower, but he stops him midway through the charge, and Quinn caught underneath the tower will die.
Sometimes greed is good, and sometimes you get punished for it. Mira happy to counter that. Push Laurel ahead in the XP.
Oh, what a sprout! Collapse, cut down a tree, but he was still stuck on the corner there. It has some stick charges to work with, though, and so he will survive for now. He wanted to be able to punish the fact that Mira had to TP into that mid lane, but couldn't quite finish the job.
It's a game about pressure. Every time one of these supports makes a move, you need to create the pressure somewhere else. At one point, you get the numbers, Yatoro gets slipped back into the silence.
Oh, he time walks up now. He's still kind of in a sticky spot here. Gaimin Gladiators can try and run him down, looking to throw the one grenade, but he'll make the difference. He's going to show up with that Rolling Thunder. Do manage to finish him up with the true support spot. Laurel, he'll be collecting some hits here. Up there on the corner, but that's okay. The swashbuckle will finish the job.
A lot of XP going into the Pango and the Ench down here. Yatoro, a little sad he died there and doesn't get it for himself, but I mean, that's sometimes the life of Basil Void versus a lineup that is going to press you, is going to go for that kill. And if it was a lot cleaner, maybe you can just walk that off.
Radiant's
Here
middle
they get the
tower
rotation
is
in.
under attack.
So these Pangos having a terrific game off of that in the tournament mid. And those are those counter turns that Laurel's looking for, right?
Yep.
Force the Raid King in, force this Morphling into an aggressive situation. Maybe Quinn dives you, and that's when you get the strike here. Arcane Rune picked up for Quinn. This is a really nice rune on the hero.
Seems he pops in here to try and deal with Mira. The silence is going to last a while. Can he get it? Yes. Quinn, very fast with the trigger there. Does manage to get him. Collapse going to try and dissuade Quinn of that notion. And he does manage to do so successfully, keeping him off his support.
And the quelling, saving Mira at the end from this Sprout. So value pickup already for him. Arcane's still in the bottle, so Quinn can still look for a rotation off this, and he probably wants to. And his early game is getting a little slow here. And you have threat on the side lanes, right? And this is where the Primal D strikes really hard, really fast, gets momentum going for the team. And it's going to be critical ideal. You just shove in mid, make the move. Wisdom Rune. There is a Furion.
There is. There's always the opportunity of the Celery to try and make a move, but I feel like the teams have been really good at protecting their Wisdom Runes against invasions, particularly against the Nature's Prophet. More times than not, it seems like Nature's Prophet tries to make that kind of move. He just walks into a trap.
Just a hard gamble. You use your teleport for that, you're dead on the map for 60 seconds, and your chances to get it should be minimal in the TI Grand Final, I want to say.
Good D-ward there. That'll help because Quinn wants to make moves, particularly with this Arcane Rune, which he's going to use now. Unneeded shield crash. So that ability no longer there with the two support rotations. It's easy to kill Laurel.
Exactly what they're looking for. Combine the calling dead shot with this Primal Beast. Anybody goes down to it at this point, and this is where you want to ramp up the speed. Start getting the map in a position where you can just guarantee the power runes for Quinn and get the connections going, and hopefully lead to like jungle invasion, right? Because the one thing you have to think about with the Magnus is the stacks. And if their carry just gets to sit in triangle and double ancients and clear through them at that point in time, the earlier you take down these tier 1s, the earlier you get aggressive obs out, the happier you're going to be when that period comes. No power rune should be secure for Quinn here.
Oh, these runes are getting a little crazy. Oh, that skewer. Look, the kids collapse. does a ton of damage onto himself thanks to the trample from Quinn. Watch out for his own sprout, though. He's going to try and get to the other side of this cliff. Laurel does hop down to chase after him, though.
Laurel showing the power of a non-real hero in his hands as he will take that rune. No haste. I mean, that's one of those situations you almost rather take the haste rune and sword the hero collapse. Will suicide himself to take Quinn out in the process.
Kind of have to be careful with those skewers against the Primal Beast. Kind of movement could be deadly.
Look at this, just a quick rotation from the support. Power of Enchantress, early creep, takes down 2 birds in this tier 1 mid. Yeah. I didn't even feel like that was a real move, but they still got a lot of this tier 1 tower damage out from it. Once again, it's Gaimin responding to some early objective pressure. The whole time this is happening, also based on the side lane, which means the Toro got to catch up a bit. He's not the one getting ganked or killed by the calling here. Very happy with that. Ace is not able to force him off lane yet. However, Gaimin doing a bit of stacking of their own, and maybe that's something they took out of that game 1, right? Like, you go in game 1, you try and run through, they run you over. It's not a team we're going to beat in 20. It's not a team we're going to beat in 25. Maybe we go back to some of our other tricks, other things up our efficiency on the map. Yeah, this is a team that is stacked their whole way through the season. Going back to it now when it matters.
And a particular strength of Western Europe in general. So, all of those DPC matches throughout the year, stacking was a big factor for all of those teams. Ace does have the reincarnation here, but it looks like Team Spirit want to try and burn it away from him. The Skeletons will push back, though. A brother does chased away.
Brother against brother here. Whose Skeletons are better?
Right now, Quinn trying to jump in, but he doesn't stop by with the counter initiation. Quinn's trying to get out of here, but he's going to be caught. He's swept. Once the Sox is going to try and transfer on the left-hand side. He's slowed down, pulled back in by Carrasco. Oh, and it goes here. Actually, walks away. These 2 other cores might fight this tower. Seller's trying to stop him now as they turn back around on Ace, trying to finish him up. There goes that reincarnation. Horacio doesn't have much man to work with, and on the fresh light, Ace going to be pulled back underneath that tower. Just like Quinn. Horacio's under this one as well. Surrounded by 5 years. Forming in his ring. He's trying to wait for him on the left-hand side, but with all of this damage, he just cannot get far enough away. Gaimin Gladiators will lose all 3 of their cores, and that attempt to fight in bottom lane.
That is the danger of making an aggressive move to this Tangler. Grimstroke, the turnaround potential is just so damn high, and time dilation absolutely ruined Horaccio as he goes to that engagement, gets time dilated. And even trying to run something happens in the early game with a very aggressive mid that can do it. He's just struggling. Feels a bit going to bring down alone, and combinations, they haven't been exactly on point for Gaimin. This will give a really nice bump to Laurel, who is just beasting on these early game fights. It's going to be a very fast Pangolier defusal in this game. And these are some heroes that are susceptible to damage. Okay. Strength that also doesn't like his mana getting burned with an early defusal. Back to some stacks, and net worth still looking pretty good for Gaimin, but the fights are just not going their way.
Particularly when you know the Wraith King wants to rush this Radiance as quick as possible, which means an Ag Shard, he really doesn't want to have to buy that until at least after the Radiance. There's definitely a timing here where this Pango could punish Ace heavily.
Especially since it's just done. This is 11:30 Arcane Boots defusal. This is crazy fast. In a game where they maybe expected Laurel to not have the freest time. Up against the Primal Furion, who can rotate.
They're supposed to shut him out early, win that lane, and then later on to the game, as a Primal Beast, you could just BKB and grab the Rolling Thunder ball and stop it immediately, right?
Look what's waiting for. Good old back to the back. Another downside of Gaimin not securing those early team fight wins. You can't fade enemy side of the map this early. Laurel's just going to clear through it all. It's going to help him. So big right now. He's got a shield rune to boot. So they're going to be looking to take a fight. It's also going to be the blink timing for collapse. He's going to finish this off the stack. Just rush it out here. Look for a big blink RP skewer on a core. Continue to slow the pace down here. Gotcha. You're going to be happy to use their ults for big core kills. So the question on Gaimin side is, what do you do when those ults are on cooldown, right? How much can you get off the map? How much can you push the lanes and look for kills? Quinn once more looking for something to get his game going here. Just can't find anything.
Good read by Mapochka, dipping away into the trees there, out of sight from Quinn. As a result, that's going to be yet another rotation that fails. One way or another, Gaimin Gladiators, whether it's running into a 5-stack of Team Spirit and they lose the fight, or the smoke's just not working out for them, so much of their early aggression with this Primal Beast has been completely stymied, and now Team Spirits are sitting in a pretty happy position, I would say. The net worth is dead even, but it does feel like Team Spirit have answered Gaimin Gladiators and all the moves they wanted to make early.
I mean, there's a lot of Magnus teams over the history. I think all of them will say, if you are even at the 15-minute mark with a mag lineup, you're winning the game. Like, you're happy because you know this game is going to get extended. You're going to outrun the enemy. You're going to theory outscale them. Now, a lot can happen in those fights. A lot of the game is scale very hard. You see Primal Beast going very hard.
Silence.
We're going to hear that can also happen.
Yeah, this is some of the game Gladiators. They're trying to play off this in numbers movement, right? Like the Primal Beast and the Nature's Prophet offer so much mobility around the map that he should be able to outnumber Team Spirit and find openings like that.
Selder wants to do for sure. Every time you get one of these pickoffs with the Fury and you get the farm their side of the map, you get deep words up the next play, and then your economy is just going to explode. And you get some extra items on this Fury and he can control the fight. The Ag's very good this game with the root and disarm, right? This is a great Fury on Ag's game. Yeah, the Nature's going to do some mad work here. If he can get anything else to help his team survive in the Chrono, in the RP, there's always going to be a force to be reckoned with. And he's going to continue to shove these waves in as well. Continue to play this game slow, continue to farm up Laurel with their power going to work. That is a successful move for Gaimin and a period where Collapse didn't really find that opening. Settle for some farm.
Finding an interesting note, there's no hand of Midases in this game. Great King, Mason Boyd, both heroes that have bought it throughout this tournament sometimes, but feels like as the tournament's gone on, particularly probably because the way the Gaimin Gladiators has stomped through some games, there are teams who've been a bit wary about picking up that greedy item.
I mean, Midas is a crutch item. Midas is an item for, you know, a lot of 14. It's not really a grand finals item. You know, you gotta, if you're worthy of a true Pantheon, you don't need the extra PPM. You're going to collect it off your enemies here. See, that is Labs can do that. Maybe he's just happy empowering his other cores and letting them take the bulk of the net worth. Much untouched during this period, just going mask power on top of it. I mean, this Void is going to keep up his farm, even with a Radiant Skeleton being, am I allowed to say that? Farming up the entire map. He will match him.
Oh, Laurel. Essentially there to grab him. Mira. Oh, so much worse damage for the Zelda.
Where you watching? That's how it's done.
Oh no! Gaimin Gladiators gotta feel so bad about that. A pickoff on Laurel, the highest net worth in this game, would have been a dream opening for them. And that was one of the few openings he'll have against this guy because he's closing in on the Lincolns fast.
He's not good enough. Oh, walks it off. I think he even misclicked it.
On the edge of the Chronosphere. Now that's an idea. Team Spirit said, oh, used all those resources bottom lane, huh? It'd be a shame if your carry got picked off, wouldn't it?
A heavy cost indeed to missing this game. Just plays with his food and put those ults to use on Dyrachyo every time. Anytime you can just collect the Morphling in this game, you're super happy about it. And Laurel will just continue to farm. Says, give me the freebie and back to the jungle. Coming down to ace right? I mean, it feels like it comes down to ace in a lot of games games. Yeah. Right now, he's just he's right to pressure. He can do things like this where he just solo create an opportunity. They're going to find both supports.
Ace
will walk it off.
Yeah, he's got to back away. He showed so many heroes up there showing Maposhka earlier. Maposhka continued to play very aggressively. I mean, the Tree Protector, he was on Gaimin Gladiator side of the map all the time because he was invisible, but this Enchantress seems to have a similar game plan. He's going to be playing up in Gaimin Gladiator's face, and that does, even if it costs him a death every once in a while, it does create information space for his core.
Particularly when the Chrono and the RP are down.
Yeah.
This is where Gaimin can pretty much run the gambit of the map, choose which objective they want to win. There's no way you're fighting without those visuals off the ground. Without Collapse being stronger, you're on skewer play. You're coming with me.
You're up into the DB point from Quinn. Collapse is 1 game is on him. He's not going to be able to blink away, and Quinn will finish the job. Great move from Dyrachyo. Those are the kind of plays you need to see here. You want to be able to take down the best team at this tournament. You need to be able to pull off some solo moves like that.
Create the pressure, it's going to create open Pelfer, and suddenly Dyrachyo just stolen his power. Pretty nice. He can throw it on the Red King, he can throw it on the Primal, and actually bonus damage on Primal. Someone's going to be very happy with that. And that's something we can see in a lot of these fights. It's probably going to be the best deal for Dyrachyo outside of maybe time dilation thrown back against Team Spirit, or just creating his own Grimstroke combination.
Precious bounty.
These are good fights and the team. Silent get a beautiful soul bind, and now he's got the ball coming through. Straight to the heart of Gaming Gladiators. Dyrachyo's already worked out close to mana. Pops his wand, but Dyrachyo, he needs to be able to get away from the ball. He's been burned out. No chance there. Gaming Gladiators, no chance. They'll be able to fight back around Ace in his Radiant. But without their carry, it's not looking great. As Ace going to be burned out of his first line. And they fight around the second one. When they stick around, they certainly don't want to give up Ace like this. Here's come back. Coming up in 2 seconds here. Might come up back. Just not enough reach.
Not necessary, really, for Team Spirit, right? No reason to give them an opportunity like that. You can stretch out, claim all of this map space you've just fought for, and farm away.
Now, I do think this late game is not 100%. Right? We're talking about that. It is very powerful. It gets a pick-off like this for sure, and its power is going to finish the map. So there's like some weird things that can happen with Wraith King Ags. There's some weird things that happen if Dyrachyo gets a free angle in the fight. Clean up the backline with Morphling first, empower himself, Grimstroke on himself.
Yep. Gonna be tier 1 down in the bottom lane as Laurel marches forward confidently with his Linkens, because what's really going to catch him? It feels like he's most of the time going to have a chance to be able to escape if Gaming Gladiators ever try and jump him here.
It's a really fast Linkens as well. This is Mag Pango in his prime. Take a hero that is not afraid to fight off food.
They're really going to target the Tormentor right in front of Gaming Gladiators' face? That is crazy, but they just did it. 4 heroes, that's all they needed. Meanwhile, Celery being gone on by Toro. He just gets a bit of a poke situation on Gaming Gladiators. Ace will try and punish him, but
the follow-up.
Yeah, he needs a lot more. Celery's going to try and chase up. These are coming in here, trying to block him out with the Sprout, but Toro is running free. Dyrachyo chased after him. But it is a very good move from Dyrachyo, but he gets it. He gets that kill, so turns back around. RP right toward that tier 2, but silence done just in the nick of time before his Spirit comes through. Yeah, he does. He sees the opportunity. What a beautiful entrance from Dyrachyo into this game.
That is the power of stolen time dilation plus the time walk, right? Infinite chase potential. Suddenly, Faceless Void can't do the same back, and Dyrachyo says, 2 can play at that game, Yatoro. I can get aggressive too and make it work. Just creates an opening out of nothing there off a chase that felt, you know, like, what is Ace doing here? He's wasting his time? Not at all. Everything coming together. It's going to propel Celery up that board as well. Max will have that here, right? Suddenly chases like this becomes a lot easier. Oh, yeah. Toro, he's just still looking for that big dispel item. His choice will be Manta first over the BKB. But it's too much out. Dyrachyo has a decent opening in these fights. And you got that.
Yeah, that actually just leads Gaming Gladiators into more opportunities, perhaps.
You can fly it out.
Okay.
That's something that can bounce through, lock these heroes down. Great for opening. Second Tormentor will go their way with Shard.
So now they've got Shard on both of their supports. That's pretty funny. I think that the Mira 1 Grimstroke, that's so much better for them. Hard Dispel to be able to help save. But maybe there's just too much firepower some of these times. You can see from Gaming Gladiators when their cores start linking up, and they're picking up the pace now. Dyrachyo, he's just swarming forward, seeing if there's anybody else to be able to catch deep on Team Spirit's side of the map. And this is the part where Team Spirit needs to be able to slow down the game. Momentum is beginning to play against them.
For the map becomes difficult. You have Skeleton shoving in one wave, you have Wrath of Nature pushing all the lanes. The Morphling's not afraid to show right now. He has Manta Illusions on top of it. And the Primal, if he's in the fog, it creates a scary situation with the pickoff potential. They're just getting more information than Team Spirit right now. There are some scary got out, but you can't really get there and use them. They're not scouting anything right now. On top of him.
That shard is pretty helpful when it comes to the Sprout, but may not save him. He's going to be surrounded. He'll give him a little bit more time, a little bit more space. In fact, he's going to go for the TP away, and there it is. Okay, they do manage to stop that. That would have hurt Gaimin Gladiators a lot if they let him get away from that.
Sure is what he'll say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time to try and get to the dispel item on Yatoro. Can't really deal with time dilation in the fight if it comes out. This is a very aggressive and lock him without guarantee the skewer better. If the fight starts on him, it could backfire. Quinn's still working towards that heart. So, Gaimin looking for the next big damage items that are going to let them ramp this game up. And of course, Ace still sitting top and pretty here.
Attack.
He's the big objective driver, so if he decides that they need to force tier 2, go for Roshan, where they want to fight and how, it's up to Ace right now as he is the front line. Calling for a smoke, looking for some kind of pickoff here.
They get the right kind of opening, they could translate this into a big Roche take.
Exactly. They're looking at the corner of the map, so anybody that dives down here, the Toro's instantly going. You might just do it anyway.
Yeah. Gaimin Gladiators say they look inside, see if it's actually Gaimin who's taking that Roshan. That's going to be pretty tough to deal with, Yatoro. With the chart jumping around with Inkswell on top of him, so even if you catch him midway through his time walk and stop him from leaping back into play, there is that dispel that can come out.
That's why you want to create a situation where you have to choose between chronoing the front line in the Heart Primal or, you know, the Wraith King with 2 lives.
Oh, if they make this move fast enough, it could be massive for Gaimin Gladiators. They have a double damage in Morphling's bottle. If they can get to this fight in time, Team Spirit may get wiped and lose the Roshan fight, and they are not doing this fast enough. Gaimin Gladiators are going to get here, and it looks like Team Spirit needs the worst move. They're going to smoke, backing themselves away. See if they can find the opening on Gaimin Gladiators. Now that is just the high round. He goes out. Now he has to turn and chase, but he's not going to be close enough. Team Spirit got something big on him. They just into the RP. Gonna have to do all the damage from here on out. The roll is Thunder is dangerous. It slows down with the magic. There's no chance. And now they leave Quinn. And they have to trap him inside that Chronosphere. His BKB is gone. Oh, it's Gaimin Gladiators who had an opportunity there to be able to upset just what they feared the most, which was losing a fight and giving the Roshan to Team Spirit. That may have just occurred.
It's going to switch the sides, so they're going to have to run up top. They might not have enough time before Gaimin respawn. I mean, you got to remember, they can TP to this dire outpost up here as well if they still have them off cooldown. Damn, what a heads-up RP from Collapse. That is a team fight salvaging RP as the Wrath of Nature just got them all on the backside, and Dilation was thrown out early here. So right there, it goes on Quinn, but that opens the fight for Dyrachyo by a decent margin. I don't know. I mean, he just RP'd him. There's no way around it.
Yeah, they only had one stun to work with. Dyrachyo just makes a complete misread of the situation there.
If you thought the stun was going to latch and be longer, but there's a lot of bailout here, and the second that goes wrong on the Morphling, this fight's just completely over. Yatoro is going to clean house. You cannot give too many of these openings. The upside, though, like we said, is Roshan switch sides, and the respawn timers were not too long here, so Dire side going to work for Gaimin as they come back into this map and stall out the Roche a second time. I think you just man up for it here because you know RP and Chrono are on cooldown.
Yeah, 100%. And Team Spirit, I mean, it would be a pretty bold move to try and take this fight without their ultimates.
No, they're just looking for the pickoff. To find it, clear the wave, but this contest, it's all on Laurel with the Rolling Thunder. Maybe they can take the fight afterwards.
He's thinking about going in with this Inkswell. He tries to jump in, see if they can get the skewer pickoff. No such luck. Gaimin Gladiators retreat very defensively after claiming that Aegis. They know Team Spirit are bold enough to make a move like that. They respect it. Back away. Dyrachyo will try and get his farm into the Silver Edge, which is a great way to be able to find some of those backline heroes. I mean, I think that Grimstroke is a big problem for them.
It is. The Link and the Dispel off the Swell are both really nice here, especially when you just throw the cell onto the face of the board or the Magnus. They get a free jump, and if they get stunned, you just bail them out, right? I think we're going to see that the whole game. It's going to make sure that both Collapse and Yatoro can hold their PvP or the Mantha for as long as they want here, and Mira can bail them out. Or you can also just throw it on the Pango and let them roll in.
Yeah, speaking of Pango, his item timing was definitely delayed quite a bit, but he's finally going to get there. He got that Linken's a while ago, but the Aghanim Scepter that he was looking for next will finally be complete.
Like from Apochka. So the damage starting to heat up here for Spirit as they're going to spread it across 4 effective cores going into this late game. That is why they love the Enchantress. Apochka is going to start to cause his own mischief in the fight. And that pushes the question back to Gaimin in terms of how are you scaling this team, right? Because right now you have an Aegis, you have a Morphling pushing towards Silver Edge. Ace just hit his BKB timing here. And the heart is a couple hundred off for Quinn. So you have some really strong fighting items coming out all in the same interval here for Gaimin. You would really like a good team fight out of this, especially if the Chrono RP gets wasted. Or if you trade an Aegis for it, you might be okay with that in the long run. You can at least find something on the backside. Right now, you're looking at Yatoro. You have a Manta, that's it. He does not go for a BKB on the face of the this game. He's just hyping up the damage here, abusing the fact he has a power. Gonna go for a later Lincoln Sphere, and it will be collapsed with that BKB. So it's a question of who do you want to start with? Maybe the Silver Edge is going to give Dyrachyo an option to put his aggression to use and just start on a support, start on a core, give the mission for a repeat jump. Mission means everything here. Gladiators as they try and take these next few fights.
Yeah, which means Miposhka is a particular nuisance to them, as he once again leads forward, just using the creep to be able to find information. They got the hard back. Now he does have BKB. So maybe the damage is going to be enough. Starts walking away. Selly's going to jump in with the Rapid Nature. Soon coming out. He tries to use the Golden Shield to get away from the Rolling Thunder while they jump forward on Dyrachyo. They want to get something out of this. They see an opportunity, surely, but they couldn't actually grab anybody, just lacking the disabled.
Hurricane posing problems for Dyrachyo as well. They just can't see anything to hit. And Team Spirit able to disengage after that Wrath of Nature rooted them all. With Team wants to go back.
He's got an opening here. Looks for it with the Chronosphere. They were so grouped up on Gaimin Gladiators. Does have the vision. He's got the goes down. He's on the other side. He actually gets away. Thanks to a time walk under so much of the damage. And now Gaimin Gladiators have to play it a little bit slow. Have to respect that Soulbind. They lend themselves up to go with that sound. Now gone. Soulbind is away. He's still waiting for the time. He gets the down 2, 3. One in the back, 2 in the front. That's going to be the Aegis. Down to the Morphling in second line. Both him and Ace though. And Yatoro fight through this one. He's going to be able to get away. He can take those close. That's enough to bring down the carry. Now for the rest. Team Spirit. Playing back into this one. The Heavy and Ace well. Now you're blocking him together. Maybe we can fight this one out. Dyrachyo. Over. Trying to separate from the team a little bit. Make sure this locker doesn't ever decimate this like it does something. Right back line. Ace tries to get that one. Dyrachyo dies. And Snarl. He does manage to pick him up just at the very tip. Just able to get that kill before he falls. Still tries to skewer away, but blocked out by Quinn in the end.
Cannot escape the inevitable, which is just too many lives on the side of Gaimin. A buyback from Celery gets another Wrath of Nature through that fight lasted so damn long. And of course, you had the Aegis on Dyrachyo, the Reincarn on Ace, and Quinn just abusing this heart regen on the backside of that fight. The Chrono was absolutely beautiful.
And did you say buyback on Celery?
Nice.
3 and plus. Yeah. Gaimin Gladiators just brought more numbers than Team Spirit could possibly even dream of.
It's like an 8-on-5 here, right?
Yeah.
So you kill 3 or 2.5 in the Chrono, you're going to take Ace on the other side. Then they're all coming back. I mean, that's exactly what you want to use this Aegis and Reincarnation for. Create a situation where you set the fight up towards the end, the ultra on cooldown, and you just get an even man fight. And that is when Dyrachyo can start to clean house. This Morphling, he has some serious DPS. Damn, were those 8 swells a problem. They were catching so many heroes. Collapse gets to survive the entire fight, just right-clicking people the entire time. I thought Raw was maybe going to carry the end of this. Tango is doing so much DPS.
Yeah, him and Collapse, I think, saved so much of this fight, because if Dyrachyo managed to live through it, then who knows how much damage they do while Team Spirit is dead. But the fact that Morphling is gone, there goes a decent amount of their pushing power and threat for the high ground. Instead, it's the Furion and the Skeletons that push out.
It'll be Ace who collects the Great King. It's just turning into a straight carry right now. This is not even a bad carry matchup versus the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
You have help to do it. It's just going to be an AC for Ace here. Shard to boot, so you cannot mana burn it out. It's going to be a problem. You're going to enough damage for him to threat that you're going to have to think about it first. Maybe skewer him in deep, take him out for free. And think about when you commit the Chrono or the RP, because it's not so straightforward anymore. You can play off the Pangolier Coast, but damage is coming for Gaimin right now. And a lot of it does come down to Dyrachyo. How does he find the angle into the fight? Who does he start on? Does he get caught in those ultimates? Because this Morphling is still incredibly susceptible. The time dilation post Manta, he's susceptible to just getting ulted without that morph going out. that happens, so much of your DPS goes out the window. Suddenly that long fight is no longer favorable for you.
It's so wild to me how much Yutoro trusts his team in this situation. I feel like so many other carries, especially carries in this tournament, would have gone for a BKB to help protect themselves, but he seems to just fully trust that Mira is going to be able to back him up, right?
I mean, you think Yutoro got by a BKB. Haven't been wanted this man.
He's going to go for Scotty up next, which is going to make him very tanky. Gaimin Gladiators cannot let him get to this point. Smoked for very, very far forward here.
Yeah, Radiant's turned off for Ace. They're not showing too much on these waves.
They wanted something so badly out of that. They used double scans to try and find some sort of pickoff, but they're left with nothing. Team Spirit holding around their tier 2.
I saw something on that ward, and they'll counter smoke it instead. They're missing the Scotty from Yutoro. Big item versus Morphling. He's happy to fight without it. Treants? See nothing. How closely were you looking at the body blocks here? They just depend on it, as they will bypass the vision mechanisms. Level 20 for Yutoro. He has Chrono attack speed here, plus this full Mjolnir. You get caught in this Chrono, it's a very different story than the last fight.
He's going to bring down the support first. Nice use of the dead shot there. That'll make sure Ace doesn't get punished too much. But Chronosphere for a 5%. I don't think Gaimin Gladiators mind that too much, as long as they don't lose control of the Roshan pit during this window.
The upside is that buyback still a cooldown for Celery. So they know they're getting the 4v5 out of that if they take down the Fury first. There's no way their dead shot will prevent it anyway. Another quick kickoff for Yutoro. More golden news off Scotty.
Now, what about this next part of this matchup? The Wraith King versus the Faceless Wolf. This Wraith King off lane, always going to be going the Aghanim Scepter at some point in time. That Aghanim Scepter is pretty interesting against the burst that Yutoro wants to be able to play. Chronosphere makes sure that there's one hero that gets no impact fight. It looks like Quinn really gets off that, but he is going to be slowed down as soon as the BKB is pouring away. I love the people play, and yeah, Team Spirit is on.
Good vision on the map. What's the setup for the kill? And just as he was pushing towards that Aghanim Scepter, you're talking about the Wraith King as the Primal Axe can also play a big part in these fights, just breaking these heroes down, removing passes, letting them get easy kills on things like the Enchantress, removing some of the time off from the Raven's Void. Any extra big, you can gain an advantage with the Racho in these man fights. I mean, the Wraith King Axe is great versus the bolts. It's just a question of can you do anything with
They knew they had the numbers advantage, and they take the fight to Gaimin Gladiators no matter the cost. He gets to jump away. Staff helps him out, but it's not far enough. There is nowhere you can go. The collapse, and Yutoro cannot follow.
That is a very bold move. When your Primal is dead, he's so much of your damage, so much of your burst damage. I mean, again, they're very close to bursting Yutoro, but the man knows his limits. Elvin to the
Oh, Tofu!
Yeah!
A shot from downtown claims the life of Yutoro.
Just as I caster curse the hell out of him, he gets shot down. Well, the man knows his limits, but I guess not every limit in Dota. The Tormentors are new, we'll cut him some slack, but what a find from Tofu. Just claims it all there, and now the Tormentor did go to Radiant, so they get the kill on Yutoro. Collapse gets the shard. That's a 1,500 gold kill.
Yeah, that's the final shard, by the way. Team Spirit at 36 minutes in have all the shards for their team because they've claimed every single Tormentor. This is crazy.
Of course, the Chrono was off cooldown, so you're gonna have some downtime for Yutoro where you would have liked to have been up on the map and used it. Surprised it burst it hard. He must have like time lock hit the Tormentor. I mean, at least he can laugh it off here because there's nothing else you can do.
Back into the game though, they still don't have Ace. They're still looking forward with this smoke. They're hesitant
out Yutoro?
Yeah, this is I'm surprised Gaimin Gladiators are surprised that they're even out here.
What the hell is this move?
Put him the high ground. Oh, Quinn, he doesn't have a TP. Where are you? Quinn, He's going to be able to get a force out down to the low ground, but that was an opportunity to get the pick up, and instead it's Collapse who finds the pick up. Another Ultra Seal totem for Accelerate, trying to keep him alive. Bump back in. Oh, the Swashbuckle just barely outside of the range there, and they do.
And Yotoro's back.
Yotoro's back into it. Dyrachyo will be the first one down. Quinn, he has BKB. Can he get it off? No, too many stuns.
This damage is ramped up so damn fast.
Oh, Collapse got him on the Inkswell.
Yotoro says, you had your fun, you had your cliff walk, but I'm here to clean it up.
And Ace trying to get away desperately. Blink is up. He will get out. Yes. Oh, they got a scan on him.
Yeah, turn that radiance off, son. You need to get the hell out of there.
You gotta hide. You gotta hide. You can't be farming right now. There's that shard. Collapse pulls him back in a little bit. No harpoon just yet, though. So he couldn't get him any further.
Yotoro knows what he wants right now, and that is an Aegis. That is a Roshan fight that Gaimin could have just committed to. It's also a fight that 30 seconds of it had no Yotoro. They couldn't find anything. They found an edge off of double dive between the Morphling and the Primal Beast, and that's it. Team Spirit is way too good at kiting these fights out, not giving you an opening. That Hurricane Pike did some serious work. Sent Quinn back to NA with his pal Arteezy stuck up there. But what else are you supposed to do? You have to find the openings. You have to dive. You only had 20 seconds without Yotoro. None of it went your way, and now it's going to be an Aegis into his pocket, a cheese on the back, and I guess everybody can buy BKB at some point. It'll be his next item here at last to seal the deal.
He really wanted to save that double damage rune for Laurel or for Yotoro, but little Treant will deny them that opportunity. Still, though, Team Spirit got to feel very good about this next 4 minutes. They've been winning a lot of team fights lately with that extra life on Yotoro. He's already been very aggressive, leading a lot of the charges for Team Spirit, giving information to Collapse to follow it up. And the second life, I feel like there is nothing to stop this man.
No. If you get caught in the corner, you're gone. Yeah, that's it. Even if you're morphing, I mean, who cares, right? The second you come out of it, you're basically dead. The Zags from Celery can only do so much, and suddenly the lanes are not getting pushed in as deep as they once were because this Empower is just going to work on these cores. They're just mopping it up. At this point, the Skeletons and the Treants are just extra gold into their pocket. We're looking at 440 CS for Yotoro right now. Cleaning up these lanes. 500 for Laurel, by the way, who's been swashbuckling what feels like the entire map. Still being a tremendous game here on the Pangolier.
He is.
Look at the difference in the last hits, man. That is what Empower does. That's what early Master Madness into the Maelstrom does. But it's also all these summons going down the lanes. So it's inflated a bit, but extra gold. Now Miro with an Ags. This is a great Dark Portrait game, right? And these Soulbinds have been landing. There's not a lot to block them. You get the Wraith King, you get that aura going back. It's a great illusion. You get the Morphling. You're going to clear house on the back line. So suddenly, the scale from Team Spirit is starting to pick up the pace on their supports. And these are scary ones.
RP straight up in the top lane. He got caught. Trying to hit that tier 2. You can get nothing for free against Team Spirit. Collapse denies Dyrachyo that opportunity. Dyrachyo compliments on the initiation, but the damage is done. Gaimin Gladiators, without their carry for 70 seconds, there's going to be some serious damage coming their way.
That just feels like a move it's based on pressure, right? They feel like this game is slipping away from them. They feel like the scale is going to be insurmountable. Dyrachyo trying to make something happen on the map and find a tier 2. Instead, he will pay the price only for an RP in exchange, which is going to be up pretty much when he's back up. How much do you want to push with this Aegis right now? Level 25 on the Faceless Void already. He already has the backtrack talent. Just going to make that burst even harder. And Yotoro says, this is enough farming. I want to end this game. I want to end it now. How much do you have to take the fight on your high ground?
Look at them. They're just trying to catch whatever they can in the side lanes because, well, you don't have a carry, so there's not much point in acting like you're going to defend this mid lane.
You just have to use Ace's strength. You have to find a way to use this Wraith King Ags and the Radiance Burn. Get something going in the fight over the long duration. That's where the Pangolier shines. And I mean, Laurel hasn't even had to jump in aggressively yet. He's just playing behind his other cores.
Yep.
Be a free lane of racks here. They're going to go for number 2. Dyrachyo, 3 seconds on the spawn. Butterfly completed for Yotoro now. No MKB in sight. You're going to have to do this the hard way. Just charge in and hope it goes your direction.
Checking it out, seeing who's TPing in. Yotoro with the Lincolns. Got an extra life. He's got a BKB in his backpack for that second life.
Oh,
and got an opportunity from Collapse. Holds Celery out of position. Rachio gonna try and use that Faceless Void form to be able to help out Blood. The Chronosphere goes to the Morph. The old Scepter not actually grabbing the real one. He's still up and he finishes off the Morph like so easily. Now the RP gets the other 2 cores. Team Spirit so clean. The extra ghosts come out from the Wraith King, but he doesn't really do anything. Ace just pops BKB on the second life. They do manage to get another pick here on his celeries. He tries to jump forward. They've got nothing left in the tank on Gaimin. Gladiators, they are all gonna fall. They're gonna throw their damage around. The Chiefs actually getting popped. His collapse got a little bit low, but into the foul goes. He's gonna
Rampage.
a rampage, maybe a double. No, Tofu's gonna deny him that. They're gonna call the GG unless pulled back in.
No, this one is
a second rampage to finally close it up.
I mean, why not add to his total, right? This is the player with the most rampages in a single TI run in history, and he will add some more to the stat page here as Yatoro just mops him up at the end with way too much damage. And once more, Gaimin are sitting here thinking, what the hell are we supposed to do against this team? We can't outpace them. We can't push them. We can't out